How to attract a Latina. Hi guys, I'm Apollonia Ponti. I'm your dating and relationship coach, founder of ApolloniaPonti.com, and I'm joined by my other coach, which is a Latina, and this is going to be a fun video. We want to give you some tips in regards to how to attract a Latin woman, because there's a lot of men that come to us and say they love Latin women. Is there anything differently that I should be doing? Is there anything differently that I should know? So we are going to give you guys the inside secrets and the inside details to make sure you stay to the very end. So what would you say your first suggestion would be for attracting a Latin woman?
Oh my God, so many. I want to start though with we have certain reputation. Yeah. I think like mostly here in Florida, I've seen we are the strong-willed creatures, right? We're and they feel a little bit intimidated by us, right?
They can, yeah.
They can, right? Because we can come across a little strong, and we just feel with passion, and that's not a bad thing. But how to handle it could come with a little bit of like, So my first tip would be getting involved with something that has to do with our culture. See, if you're like dating, let's say, a Cuban lady, or like I'm Peruvian, or a Colombian, like what do they usually like to dance to, right? If you're Cuban, like they usually like salsa. Maybe like you can take some salsa lessons, invited her on a date. I'm like, so they'll be surprised. It's like, wow, this guy actually like wants to getting to know their culture is very attractive. To me at least, like, oh, they want to know more about me. They want to know more about where I come from. Like they get curious about your food. They get curious about what places to visit, right? So that'll be kind of like the first thing I will think of, like getting fascinated with the world.
Yeah.
And what else? Well, the second tip I will give is Latin women like to be heard, right? I mean, every woman likes to be heard, yeah. But we tend to talk a lot, though.
Yeah.
So knowing when to kind of like, and we can be too much sometimes, right? Like we can talk, like, and then, oh my gosh, she ever gonna stop talking, right? So getting into like, getting her to be interested in what you're interested in, kind of like, it's like, okay, I've learned about you. I want to get you interested in more, like, do you love baseball? You've experienced that, right? With Alex, like I know you've shared with me that he loves basketball. Therefore, it kind of like walking your interest in watching basketball, because it's the person you love, likes that kind of sports, even though I didn't grow up with it. I didn't grow up with football. I didn't grow up with baseball. So, I had no interest for it. But I'm in the United States. There are big sports. I live here. There are a lot of chances that men out there are going to be interested in it, right? I need to learn a little bit. Same thing with women. I grew up with watching soccer. That's my thing. I love it. I just don't know why I love it. I just grew up with it. Being interested in whatever we show interested in is attractive for some reason.
Yeah, I think that's attractive for a lot of women. I think that another thing too, to add on to what Cynthia's saying and attracting, how to attract a Latin woman, is when the beginning she was talking about, how to understand, like, we're very passionate about things when we talk. We're very stereotypes sometimes in regards to, like, oh my gosh, they're so angry, they get crazy, which I'm not taking away, because we are very passionate. But here's the thing is, number 3, in regards to how to attract a Latin woman, I am so big on this one, and I think this is the best of it all, is they need a strong, well-rounded, grounded man. Especially if you're having a very passionate woman that's very dominant sometimes, or very independent. that maybe even will raise her voice. I don't know, but I'm just saying, I mean, I don't do it. I think that comes with maturity and understanding a lot too. But with that said, it's not just Latin women. I think that's just women or people in general, I should say. But with that said, when Latin women have a strong presence of a man, like when we're, depending if we're Americanized, and some even Americanized, depending if their family is still really cultured in America, but outside culturally, if she wasn't grown and if she wasn't raised in America but still has that family dynamic in America where it's like dinner, family, always with family, and they still have that culture that they brought home, or if she wasn't born in America, one of the biggest things is she's going to look for a man that is pretty dominant, right? Women that are Spanish do look for a dominant male. And I think a lot of women do look for dominant males. But I'm saying in particular with this is because we as Latin women are raised from women, family, our fathers, to always embed in us that you need a man that's going to take care of you. You need a man that's going to be strong, right? Because of that, it's been embedded in our hands. It's like, okay, I'm going to type up the script of how you're going to think. And they start at an early age to make you think of that. That's why like they have quinceañeras at 15 years old is because you go into a womanhood. So it's their number one thing in the Latin culture is womanhood, family, husband, and good food, right? So like, that's the thing is like, that's why it's really good to have a man that is very prominent and knows what he wants. So you have boundaries, you step your ground. I'm sorry, you can't talk. No. We're not discussing it like this. We're not communicating like this. If you want to talk to me, we can go, we'll lower our voice. We can do someone that's going to give direction, I think is really important too. And number two, since women are really passionate, Latin women are really passionate and also very sensual, I think. They're very open sometimes to their sexuality. And I also think that some of them, it depends on the woman, of course, and their upbringing. They can be very open in a private area, but also too, like, sensual passion goes a long way with Latin culture. So passionate holding hands, passionate back rubs, passionate kissing, romance, right? That goes a lot into the Latin culture because men and women are just really passionate in our culture. So I think that's one of them. And I think also too, another tip I want to share with you guys is Latin women look at style. I think that is a big thing.
I was about to say that.
Yeah.
We love fashion. We look up to another woman. Like the first comments I will say to you, oh my God, you look so pretty. That's a pretty dress. I love when a woman dresses up for me. Like if it's my birthday and then somebody that doesn't usually wear a red lipstick and they say to me, like, I had to wear red lipstick. It's your birthday. I did it for you. Oh my God, that like my heart feels so full. So every now and then comment on a nice outfit. I know men don't usually do this, but kind of like, babe, you look so nice today. I mean, that dress brings out the colors of your eyes or something like that. We love compliments.
Because in the Latin culture, also too, I think that's really important to understand, is in the Latin culture, we are like for instance, my grandmother would get her makeup and her at least lipstick on just to go to the mailbox.
Yes.
It's very prominent in our culture, like as women, to take care of ourselves, to look good. So when we see that we put all this energy into it and a man finds value in that, that's really important. Of course, we're not going to like, baby, you look so beautiful every single minute, every single hour, because that's just neediness. What we're saying is just basically complimenting her every once in a while goes a long way. But like, wow, this necklace right here is so nice. Like, looks so good with your neckline, babe. I love that. You know, where you're just doing different things, or wow, your eyes are like sparkling today. You look so beautiful. Where it's like you're complimenting on something that actually took some work or isn't just like an outfit all the time. So I think that is really, really prominent in the Latin culture.
Yeah, it is huge. I mean, we tend to do that with each other a lot. We don't get it from the men a lot, but when we hear it, like you said, you don't have to do it all the time. But when you hear it, man, it means the world to us. Like, I put all of this effort, and we usually do it for us, we do it for each other. It doesn't mean that we're into ourselves. It is the opposite. It's not that we're looking for someone to tell us how beautiful you look or anything. It is like we grew up with that. I grew up watching my grandmother putting skincare in her face and like accommodating her hair and always, do I look good? It's like it is just in our culture, growing up, we saw that. So of course, it is in our subconscious as we are like treating other women. I know if I tell you how pretty your hair looks today, it's gonna make your day, right? Because that's how. It's not that I expect it, but it feels rewarding to something that I took like 2 hours to do, right?
Yeah.
So
And I think that's for a lot of women too, but just understanding the Latin like process of like mindset, I should say, of how we were brought, how a lot of us had upbringing and things like that. And I think the most prominent is that, and also understanding that they need someone that is strong. You know, they look for someone who can not provide financially all the time, but I mean, like, just provide that masculinity. And I think women in general look for that. And I talk about that a lot in my videos, obviously. And then one last thing and one juicy thing that I want to bring up to you guys in regards to this is a Latin woman, I think, also wants to feel protected. A lot of women do want to feel protected, but they have like a great quality about like they protect their family. So they want a man to protect them. So I think like they have this culture of I'm going to protect my family, and I want someone that's going to understand my family dynamic of protection. And if I protect my family, then the man I choose protects me, and I do the same for him. Because Latin women typically are very nurturing when they're in love, because that's just how we were raised as women, is to be nurturing
and
in
to
that way.
that point, like if you're dating or interested in a Latin woman, like be prepared to be in a relationship not only with her but with her whole family, like the mom, the aunt, the cousin, like the sisters, and the big family dynamic that is so nice. Like we're used to like the Sundays with the gathering in the family, all the cousins get together. So family is huge. It's the most important thing for us.
Especially for families here, but sometimes not all the time, but she'll probably always be on the phone with them. But anyways, I hope those tips help you guys attract Latin women. I know that Latin women are one of the most beautiful women in this world, to say the least, but just kidding. But anyways, so what I was alluding to was the fact that I do think that in this culture, there are a little bit things that are differently, but this is for everybody. Even if it's not Latin women, these can help you in these tips in regards to that. If you need help with attraction, what I would encourage you to do, and you want to enhance your attraction game, is apply for the course, my masterclass called The Algorithm of Attraction. This is going to help you out in really magnifying your attraction skills from beginning or to an end of a relationship and ongoing, whatever it is that you choose that you want. Better your dating skills or better you or yourself overall when it comes to women and your personal life. Thank you, Cynthia, for joining me on today's video.
Thank you for having me.
All right, guys, we'll see you in the next one. And remember, you are always loved. Bye for now.